What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy P. Skip. Welcome to the best half hour of your entire Tuesday. You know what time it is. It's time to get into his court. My squad with me, T-Mac.
Hola.
Chili Will.
Gracias, amigo.
Let's do this. Let's get started, y'all. Proverbs 11:1 in the Amplified says that false balance and dishonest business practices are extremely offensive to the Lord, but an accurate scale is his delight. Now, I said that because recently Aaron Rodgers and the Packers organization were fined because of the whole COVID situation. The Packers were fined $300,000 for their role in it. And Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard were both fined $14,650. Now I said, all of us said there should be some suspensions. There should be, an example being made. But after looking at the collective bargaining agreement, they agreed to everything is on a scale. Like your first offense, this is what it is. Your second offense, it doubles. Your third offense, it doubles from there. And so because this is what their first offense was of this is all that could happen. Suspension is not even a part of the bargaining agreement. So that was never even on the table for them. So you look at this and you go, this summer, I'm wondering if this may have to be brought up again because of the magnitude of players, either wanting to be vaccinated or not, and what the ramifications of that is if they're doing what Aaron Rodgers did, kind of just, I'm going to give you some semantics, say some things that sound like it is, but it ain't. And then if something happens to me, it don't matter because it's only 14 grand, 15 grand. What is that if I'm making 25 million a year?
33
million a year, what is 15 grand and an extra week off? Nothing. So since you comment, I'll let you go first. Will, what do you think of this, man?
I knew in the very beginning that what they could or couldn't do. People wanted blood because he got caught in a lie.
Right.
But people lie all the time. I mean, lying is a human thing. I don't know if animals do it or, whatever, but people lie all the time. So you can't be too punitive towards him for what he did when he knew that within the collective bargaining agreement, this was going to be the worst thing that can happen to him. Now, is his reputation damaged? Yes. Is his character impacted? Yes. But once again, tomorrow, y'all might see the best Aaron Rodgers y'all ever seen, because a couple of touchdown passes and a couple of wins, a big win, everybody be forgetting about that and moving on to the next train wreck. That's just how this stuff goes.
Right. Go ahead, T.
Well, I think it's unfortunate that, it's good for him being protected by the collective bargaining agreement, being part of the players' union, and that's what unions are designed to do, represent the workers in the best possible light. We've seen in a number of instances that just because something is the way it is in contract is not necessarily the best for, the general public and the greater good. I know that, you have several police departments where you've had individuals that have really crossed the line, maybe taken the lives of some folks who might have otherwise been innocent, or whatever crime they committed did not, match up with the level of punishment. And because of that police union, they were able to escape a harsher penalty. And I think a similar type of situation is this, not trying to liken what he did to the taking of someone's life, but given the horrid impact that COVID has had across the nation and across the globe, lives have been taken because of it. And this isn't just a situation where he was out of order in the lie. And as Will said, everybody does, lie from time to time. And that is, part of human nature. That's part of the human frailty. Nobody's perfect. We all have flaws. I get that. But this was a situation where you're playing with a global pandemic and lives have been lost for this. And so it's unfortunate in this particular case that the NFL couldn't have taken a more harsher penalty for him for this, given the magnitude of the risk that he brought to the table. But, they made the agreement, and, contracts are contracts, and, that's what the agreement has been. I think sometimes you have situations that, you deal with what they call unintended consequences. And maybe an unintended consequence when they first put that together was they thought that the players would, honor, just character and play above board and wouldn't go to these extremes in trying to deceive not only the league and its officials, but the general public, all together. So hopefully, I think something like this, a loophole can be closed, but this is, part of the collective bargaining agreement. It may cause them to take a closer look at certain things that may need to be renegotiated. Don't know what all the ins and outs of that is, but despite the fact that they could not do more to him as far as penalty, I still think that, the magnitude of what he did warranted a harsher penalty than just, 14,000 and change, given that's a drop in the bucket to a $33 million salary.
Yeah, I would agree, but just like you said, contracts are not up to public opinion. They're in black and white, and that's the law. And so according to the law, he got the penalty, the maximum penalty he could get.
Yeah.
That they agreed with.
Well, in the court of public opinion,
Right.
he looks terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't met anybody who agreed with what he did and how he went about doing it. Everybody who I've heard from, and I've heard from many, were really disappointed and couldn't believe that he was this cavalier about something as horrific as the pandemic. So he lost a bunch of cool points and a bunch of love from a bunch of people, but y'all know how this sports thing go. Everybody like a winner. If you win, a lot of stuff get forgiven.
Right. I agree. And I think the other thing to look at is it does not touch his legacy.
No.
This ain't
No, I don't think so.
in the Hall of Fame. None of that ain't gonna do nothing to his legacy.
No.
Just staying with the Packers, I was excited and then I was saddened all in like 2 days. I was excited at the fact that there could be a possibility that we could get Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, we were like we were in the top 2 of where he wanted to go, but he ended up signing with the Rams. Could you imagine if we'd had Odell Beckham as another receiver? That would have been bananas, what we could have accomplished. But then, I saw that he signed with the Rams. I'm like, once again, what is it about the Packers?
You know what it is. Don't even ask that question. You know what it is.
That these high free agents just don't want to come here. And part of it is, I think the other part of it for Odell, I think, is how do I know Aaron even going to be there next year?
Yeah.
Because, he was talking about not coming back. So unless he can tell me if you come, I'll stay, what's the sense of me coming?
Well, Odell was going to be a free agent at the end of this year anyway. So
Right.
If Aaron Rodgers would have left, if he could have got a couple of nice passes and touchdowns and good plays from Aaron Rodgers, it could have raised his value. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that in Los Angeles. I just saw across the ticker wire that one of their receivers is out for the year, just tore his ACL. So Odell Beckham signing couldn't have come soon enough for them. So that's going to give him more opportunities in Los Angeles. But it's the weather. Nobody wants to be in Green Bay because of the weather.
Right.
Yeah, I think the weather, and I think the other thing is I think they probably lowballed him as well. I think he really thought about coming here. I don't know that we would have been that much better. I mean, Odell is Odell. I think he's one of the best wide receivers. I like him, as a player, and he's fresh. It's unfortunate that he's had those Derrick Rose type injuries to his legs that have kind of robbed him of some seasons and productivity. But you saw a Cleveland team that he was playing on, and when he went down, they went to the playoffs and actually played better. After he had his, kerfuffle with the team, even this year, Baker Mayfield, whatever spats they have, real or imagined, plays better when him out without him being there. So I think him coming to Green Bay, even though Devontae Adams was pretty, diplomatic in his press conference, about it. I think it would have upset the apple cart some. Odell would have demanded the ball. Aaron would have felt some sort of obligation and or pressure to get him the peel. And I think that Devontae Adams, having, led the league in reception over the last couple of years and positioning himself to try to be the number one or top paid wide receiver, it was going to cause, some drama, I think, in the locker room, low key. So the Packers probably dodged a bullet with him not coming here. And now the Rams have that added pressure of having added Von Miller from the Super Bowl winning, Broncos a few years back. And now they have Odell Beckham Jr. to go along with those other all-stars and all-pros they already have. Pressure is on now. They're showing, hey, we're all in, all chips in. We push it all to the center of the table. We're going for it. So for them, it's win or bust. The Packers, I think, still are kind of in the cut, depending upon how Aaron Rodgers plays. And it's not necessarily guaranteed that he's going to have a monster game, because in other times he's come back after a little bit of time off. He was a little bit rusty. So we'll see. But I think the Packers might have dodged a bullet with not bringing Odell here, despite his greatness as a receiver. There's some other non-on-the-field things that he also has been associated with. He was with a playoff team that went 11-5 last year and was demanding to leave. So for him to say, I want to be with a winner, you were with a winner. You know what I mean? And they went, that's, so you kind of selling wolf tickets there, which is kind of janky. And you've already proven to been, kind of a drama queen in the locker room for two different franchises. First in New York, there was some grumblings about you there. Now in Cleveland, that's the last thing we need, given the tumultuous offseason we had with Aaron Rodgers and now this COVID-19 drama. We got enough drama here. We're trying to be settled down a little bit, and I think he would have added, a little bit of, gasoline to that fire. That ain't what we're looking for right now. We're looking for straight water to put that out so we can go ahead and get into the playoffs again and win an NFC championship game if we're fortunate enough to get to another one this season.
Yeah, for me, just looking at it from another side, I thought it possibly would have opened up a whole lot more for Devontae Adams, because now it'll be difficult to double team him, because then you leaving Beckham all by himself. And so I think it would have been able to be, at least my thought, I think it could have been a good balance, because it might even allow Devontae Adams to get more passes and less damage to his body. But that's just, that's neither here nor there. It don't matter because we didn't get him. But, on another note, I want to switch over to the NBA. I don't know if y'all know, but there's some beefing going on in the NBA.
A little bit.
Run DMC said, if there's beef, we knocks out teeth.
And that's the same thing them brothers from Eastern Europe said too.
The Jokic brothers. So anyway, to kind of set it up for the fans, is for the listeners, what happened is Nikola Jokic, which is the center for the Denver Nuggets, was going to shoot a three, and the Morris brother, Marcus Morris, gave him a forearm to the ribs while he was stretched out up in his shot, and it hurt. He thought he was just going to give him a forearm to the rib and walk away. Jokic turned around and gave him a forearm to the ribs from the back. Now Morris is all folded up on the ground. I'm hurt. Oh my God, that was dirty. And his brother, his twin brother, Markieff Morris, says, just for the record, I want you to know that was a dirty hit, and make sure you know it's duly noted. Now the Jokovic brothers said, since you put this out on Twitter, we ain't had a Twitter account. We starting one to let you know. if you want to go there, we can go there. We can do this like some gentlemen, or we can do some real gangster stuff. Know this: if we go gangster, we gonna be gangster. And they have already proven that, Denver fans know, do not sit near them during the playoffs, because if something happened to their brother, they snapping. So I don't know what. And the thing about the Morris brothers, they feel like they're the enforcers of the NBA. Like they can just punk people all over the place and nothing happens to them. But now you can't be the bully all the time and then not expect to, when you hit somebody, get hit back. Because everybody ain't being bullied by you. And so now you go turn to Twitter and talk about, oh, you did my brother dirty. Wait. The Bible says you reap what you sow. You got the exact same hit that you gave back. And now my hit was dirty. And yet you could have bruised my ribs when you hit me. So Tim, I'm gonna let you hit it first, because Will got plenty to say about it.
You know I got plenty to say about this one.
Yeah. I think it, quite frankly, I think the Morris brothers are selling wolf tickets. And when you go, to Twitter and social media to air out your beef and all that kind of stuff, that you social media tough. If you're going to be real slick, do something in front of somebody's face. Now, I think that the Jokic brothers ain't playing no games. They come from, Europe. They might be gangsters over there, and they be willing to take some shots. One, they're not NBA players. Their brother is. So they can take one for the team, and it not necessarily cause as much detrimental damage as it would be if Jokic did some additional things now after he gave that flagrant, cheap shot, got his lick back, essentially, on my guy Marcus Morris, and got ejected for it. So he already has some penalties. He's already probably going to be on watch. If he does anything else that's kind of flagrant, he might be looking at some additional suspensions, and he ain't trying to lose no bread. Now, the concern I have is that if the Morris brothers aren't selling wolf tickets and they ain't playing no games, chances are they got some goons in their camp, either some cousins, some homies, some cats from back in the day, even some gangsters that might have put them on as they were coming up in the ranks playing AAU, All-Stars, in high school and college. So some cats, you know what I'm saying, can bring some lead. If it goes there, it's going to be some bloodshed, and cats going to do some gunplay. Brothers be playing with guns, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully it doesn't get to that. They're able to get this squashed, have an understanding that, hey, there's certain lines we ain't going to cross. And when we play against each other's teams, we will be sure not to go there anymore, because if we do enforce this talk we're giving, somebody is probably going to die. Because if I have to call my goon squad, I got cats say, don't call me unless you want to do some gangster SHIT. Excuse my French. So if it goes all the way there, Jokers is going to go for broke, and we might have, some loss of life. And we ain't trying to go all there off a hard foul. Just don't be fouling no more. Don't be instigating. Don't start none, won't be none. So hopefully they can get this resolved and it doesn't continue to escalate and get there, because the next level past talking is really putting some lead in the game. And we don't want that, to happen, to mar the NBA off some stuff that happened on the court, to spill off into the streets and really start to have some major league casualties. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. So hopefully they can get this squashed. We can move on, and this can be a bygone issue that, goes into the annals of history.
Well. The Morris brothers have been going around the playground like the big bullies.
Right.
They was acting like Godzilla was acting when he was going through Japan or Tokyo, tearing up buildings and breathing fire. And then Godzilla ran into a fella by the name of King Kong. And all that old stuff was over with, and he was running, trying to get back in the water because King Kong was going upside his head. The Morris brothers been getting away with this for a while. So let's be honest, y'all. Let's be honest. They had this coming. They had it coming. They've been punking people in the league for the last decade. Finally, they messed with Jokic. Jokic ain't from Cleveland. He ain't from New Hampshire. He from Eastern Europe. Y'all talking about gun violence. We talking about, we live in a place where they drop bombs. You hear what I'm saying? Not bullets, bombs.
Right.
So we're not worried about what y'all talking about. I love what the Jokic brothers what they did. It's like, look, man, if you want some smoke, we got some smoke for you. I tell y'all this: if y'all do something to our little brother, this is gonna be the last mistake you make on planet Earth. I'm telling you that now. And the Morris brothers, mama got in it and said, hey, she shut the whole thing down. She was like, look, mama speaking, y'all go sit down and it's over with. So mama done spoke, so it should be crushed.
Yeah.
But I was glad that Jokic did what he did because I was sick of them cats bullying the whole league like they've been bullying the whole league. I was glad somebody finally stood up to him. They messed with the wrong person. They messed with King Kong, and King Kong wasn't having it. And y'all saw the film as many times as I saw the film. Did y'all see anybody run up on Jokic?
Nope.
Did not nobody, man or beast, run up on that big son of a gun, did they?
No.
Nobody. You know why? Because when it comes down to physical altercations, size and strength matters. And he was the biggest dude in the whole gym. And what did nobody want no pieces or parts of it? And his brothers is just as big as him.
Right.
So Jokic, Morris brothers, y'all need to cut out some of this bullying and start, y'all good basketball players. Y'all don't got to play like that. Cut that bullying out. Quit thinking y'all enforcers and y'all tough and just go ahead and play basketball. And Jokic, he the reigning MVP, man. How y'all going to just try to hit that man like that? And you could have injured him. You could have hurt him bad. His arm was up. You could have did a lot of damage to him. He just was like, look, I done seen you cats do this to other people. I ain't them. So to me, I think it was a watershed moment in the NBA this year that now, it's kind of like when Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. Everybody wasn't as scared as Mike Tyson as they were before.
Right. I think the other thing is, I'm sure the NBA said something because I think they're from Serbia. I think
they're from Serbia. They are from Serbia.
The last thing you want this to do is turn into an international incident because it could very easily turn into something that serious.
Yeah. Because let me add this. Excuse me, Pastor. Let me just add this to it. Two things that surprised me about the penalty from the NBA. Number one, the Morris brother threatening somebody on social media, he didn't get no fine. He should have got a fine for threatening another NBA player on social media. To me, that's fine worthy. Right. And the other thing was Jimmy Butler got the whole game together and went outside the locker room and was waiting on Jokic to come out the locker room. He should have got fined for something. Right.
Hey, listen, man. The final thing is, I hear what you're saying, Jimmy, but the reality of it is, you first need to talk to your boy and say, stop
that foolishness. Quit all that old cheap shotting and trying to hurt people.
Right. Because if somebody had done it to you, if Morris would have did that same shot to you, you would have been ready to fight.
Oh, yeah.
So don't sit up there and get upset at somebody for doing the exact same thing you would do.
Wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. He was wrong. He shouldn't have did that. He was wrong. And now Jokic was, went a little past the line, but he was like, man, I want y'all to understand. I'm not scared of y'all.
Right. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't know if it was past the line because, first of all, you gave me a cheap shot in the ribs, and then you thought I was a punk, so you turned your back on me. You don't fire on nobody and then turn your back on them. What you think? What you think this is? I'm not going to take advantage of that? Oh, no. You got what you opened yourself up for. If you really was like a man, you gave him that cheap shot, you should have looked him in the eye and said, now what you going to do?
Yeah.
But no, you turned your back like, yeah, I got away with one. No, you didn't.
They've been getting away with it, though, Pastor, and that's why he thought it was the same thing. But he done ran into King Kong, and King Kong was like, hold on now, dude. I ain't the one.
That ain't what this is. What this is. And, I kind of read some articles about the Jokic brothers, and he's a younger brother, and they've always handled him wrong. Like they would play basketball, or they were talking about a time when if he missed a layup, they pound on him for missing layups. You don't be missing layups. And then also he was scared to climb a tree. So they strapped him to that tree, with his arms behind him, and started throwing knives at the tree while he's strapped to it.
They ain't from Connecticut. They not from Kansas.
No. So if they'll keep their brothers like that, what you gonna get, Morris? What y'all gonna get? So you dealing with a different breed of person, a different crew of a family that said, hey, I don't know what you on, bruh, but you need to rethink what you've been thinking.
Hey, where's Don King when you need him?
Hey, you should see if Floyd Mayweather want to get in on some of that money.
This would be a good off-season fight in Vegas.
Right, or
the Morris brothers against the Jokic brothers.
Or either Vince McMahon turn into a WWE match.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. You know what? The Morris brothers ain't gonna be that tough if they got to get in the ring with some gloves. They don't want no parts of them big Jokic brothers or Jokic. They don't want no parts of it. Hey, he pushed the man down so bad he couldn't get up. He couldn't get up.
Right. So I'm sure his brother said, listen, I'm going to say something, but I don't mean what I'm finna say.
Hey, between me and y'all, he could have got up.
Hey, he was not interested in defending himself.
Hey, the man has a good IQ. He could have got up, but it was smart for him not to get up.
He had an Oscar-worthy performance right there, Will.
Man, please. He didn't want no parts of Jokic, man. He didn't want no parts of him. Nor did anybody else on. The only person who said something to him was Tyler Hero.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them was all scared.
Right. Hey, well, listen, another great show. We'll see you back here same time next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. You're listening to the #1 faith-based sports talk show in the entire world, Into His Courts. We'll see you next week, 7 to 7:30 every Tuesday night. Joy 1340 AM, 98.7 FM. Until next week, have an amazing week. Hey!